All right, I think we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for sharing part of your day with us. My name is Christine Tomasic, and I'm the Managing Director of the EdTech Evidence Exchange. I'd like to start by sharing the objectives of our time together. After a brief introduction to the EdTech Evidence Exchange, I'll introduce a framework of context variables that influence the success of EdTech implementation. Then, I'll share a few different tools we use to collect and document EdTech implementation contexts and experiences. Finally, I'll share examples of what you can learn from data we can help you collect, how you and your organization can benefit from our three sources of evidence, and why you should partner with us. I am joined today by my colleagues, Amber Fowler and Naomi Kahn. I'm so grateful for their work and support, as this webinar would not be possible without their efforts. Both Amber and Naomi will be active in the chat, so please feel free to ask questions and engage with your fellow webinar attendees via the chat. I do apologize, my voice is a little hoarse and I do have a lozenge in, but hopefully that'll give me the energy I need to and the voice to power through our time together. So about us. If you start at the far left of this visual, you'll see that the EdTech Evidence Exchange, or the Exchange for short, is a research-based project that is in Innovate EDU's portfolio of projects. The Exchange works closely with the University of Virginia School of Education and Human Development. We provide our partners with three sources of evidence that will help them better select and implement EdTech. We do this by collecting data around context features that are most likely to influence EdTech implementation success. Currently, we're focused on collecting data related to selection and implementation experiences with math technologies and documenting the contexts where those math tools are used. Right now, many EdTech decisions are made without the benefit of evidence about the school or district's implementation context, even though these features are knowable. Through our data collection partnerships, we help educators access this information and use it to make evidence-informed decisions. So, bottom line is, we bring the lens of implementation context to the conversation. The Exchange started by wanting to know what those features that influence the implementation context are. So we spent our first few years researching what features most influence the success of technology use. We called our research the EdTech Genome Project and released a report to detail our research efforts of how we identified the 10 context features or variables you see here in the wheel. You can scan the QR code on this slide, or you can access the report via the link that will be appearing in the chat. A quick summary. Our steering committee and working groups of over 140 educators, experts, and researchers helped us identify 10 variables most likely to influence EdTech implementation. We also engaged over 2,000 educators in iterative rounds of feedback about the variables, their definitions, and survey tools to measure each variable. We know there are more context features than what is shown in the wheel, but these 10 form a pretty comprehensive context profile. We imagine these 10 features will not surprise you. They are features that often figure prominently in education initiatives. We formed a working group around each variable. Those working groups drafted a short definition, a long definition, and a draft measurement instrument aligned with their variable. We took the draft measurement instruments and, with consultation from a measurement council, worked through iterative revisions such that the 10 instruments come together as a cohesive set. We refer to those 10 instruments together as the context inventory. We refer to the entire body of work, the definitions and the instruments, as the EdTech context framework. This slide shows an example of the definitions for the competing priorities variable. We have a short, several sentence definition and a long definition. Most of the definitions are between 1 and 2 pages long. And here are sample items or questions from the competing priorities instrument. We released the definitions and sample items, sample questions, about 2 years ago. In the spring of 2023, our UVA research team published an article in Computers and Education about the validation work done to date on the context inventory. Speaks about an exploratory factor analysis as well as a confirmatory factor analysis that's been done. A link to the article preview will be appearing in the chat. Before we go on further, I wanted to share this bit of background about our work to give you a sense of what we are about and how we arrived here. Now, let's turn our attention to data and evidence. We use the EdTech Evidence Exchange platform, or the Exchange platform for short, to efficiently collect and analyze data and display evidence on educators' implementation contexts and experiences. A key feature of the Exchange platform is automatic display, so the evidence and insights are accessible immediately to our partners. The Exchange platform uses 2 surveys to capture educator data. The first survey is the context inventory that we developed through the Genome Project. The questions in this survey document the 10 identified variables you saw in the wheel, and the questions asked in the context inventory are not specific to any one technology or subject area. The data from this survey is used to match educators working in similar contexts so they can learn from one another's implementation experiences. The second survey documents implementation experiences. This survey is focused on one specific technology tool and does ask educators to identify a particular math technology they use for instruction, or a math technology that they helped select if they are a decision maker. Educators answer a combination of closed and free response questions about their selection and implementation experiences with that math technology. The slide you are viewing now shows the Exchange platform user journey. First, all educators create an account and complete the context inventory. Next, math educators complete an implementation survey. Upon completion of each survey, educators instantly receive a $20 e-gift card. Educators decide where to spend that e-gift card, anywhere from Amazon, Target, Walmart, Home Depot, REI, Whole Foods, Best Buy, so many choices. So yes, that's $20 all educators can earn for completing the context inventory, and an additional $20 math educators can earn for completing the implementation survey. After collecting the data, the Exchange platform analyzes and automatically displays actionable evidence in reports. The context inventory data is displayed as a context report. And the implementation survey data is displayed as an implementation report. As soon as educators complete surveys, the platform automatically aggregates and displays those reports. No waiting on researchers to access the evidence. All of the data are anonymous and confidential. No names of educators or any district names are ever associated with the data. And we do not collect any student data. What you are viewing now are screenshots of a sample context report. The context report summarizes the 10 key features of your organization that are likely to impact EdTech implementation. The platform averages together the responses from everyone who completes the survey in your district and displays the data in aggregate. If you partner with us to collect data, you'll get access to your district's context report and be positioned to use evidence to inform effective and equitable EdTech procurement and implementation decisions. This slide shows screenshots from a sample implementation report. The implementation report is an infographic style report with feedback on a specific math technology. The platform aggregates responses from every educator who reports on a specific technology. If you partner with us to collect data, you'll get access to implementation reports and be positioned to use evidence to inform effective and equitable EdTech procurement and implementation decisions. These two surveys capture a lot of data. And next, I will walk you through a few examples of how you might use the evidence in the reports to inform decision-making. We offer 3 types of evidence displays in our Exchange platform that partners find helpful for making effective and equitable decisions. The first display you see here, a district context report, helps leaders learn more about their own district context from educators working in the district by providing insights about the presence and quality of each variable you saw in the wheel. As you interpret this data, it will provide evidence you can use to inform systems-level improvements based on the findings. The 10 variables are shown at the top of this image. Let's zero in on one variable, the infrastructure and operations variable, first. In this example, you see the variable name and short definition at the top. You also see that the variable is broken down into 6 subscales or components: school access and functionality, remote access, remote support, school support, data systems, and operational policies. The darker orange bars indicate that educators responded more positively about those components of their district's infrastructure and operations. These data suggest that the district provides for both remote and school access to devices and internet connectivity. However, they also suggest they do not provide any form of remote support to ensure that students are actually able to take advantage of their access. Likely, students whose families are less technologically savvy or available to help them will be at a disadvantage. This identifies a targeted area for systems improvement. You can review any of the 10 variables to help identify your district's strengths and opportunities for growth. I'll use the teacher beliefs and knowledge variable as the next example. You see here that the concept of teacher beliefs and knowledge is broken down into 4 subscales or components, each shown below the variable definition. Again, dark orange bars indicate higher or more positive perceptions, while lighter orange bars indicate lower or less positive perceptions. These data illustrate that teachers feel positive about technology and the ways in which it has the potential to support student learning. But they don't feel confident in their knowledge of how to use technology or effectively integrate it into instruction. Teachers' positivity and likely willingness to champion technology is a strength to leverage. And these data indicate that students would likely benefit if the district began explicitly supporting integration strategies. And the third example I want to share is the implementation systems and processes variable. This variable captures data about the presence and quality of implementation methods to achieve intended outcomes. For this variable, you again see the name and short definition at the top, and the subscales or components, again, there are 6, that make up the implementation systems and processes variable. The 3 darker orange bars indicate that educators responded more positively about those components of implementation systems and processes than the 3 lighter bars. These data in this example suggest that EdTech implementations are well aligned to system priorities, but they are not sustained over time, well documented, or clearly communicated. These data might guide you to focus on communicating your plans for EdTech implementation, or to create policies that require multi-year funding plans when new technologies are procured. Because the 10 variables are interconnected, you would probably also want to take a look at your vision variable and your strategic leadership support variable to figure out how they might interact to adequately determine next steps. Before I go further and show the 2 other types of evidence the Exchange platform generates, I'm going to pause and see what questions, if any, have bubbled up from the group. Amber, Naomi, what questions do our viewers have?
So we do have one question, and it is there a way non-math educators can participate in this survey?
So the answer is yes. All educators in a district are eligible to take the context inventory because that's the survey that has nothing to do with a specific math technology or content. So all educators can take that survey. However, at the moment, the implementation survey is geared towards math educators. So math educators can take 2 surveys while all other educators can take 1. In the future, though, we will have other content areas represented in that implementation survey. Other questions?
That's it so far.
All right, on we go. The second evidence type on the platform is found in the implementation reports from districts like yours. You can find districts that are similar to yours based on your implementation context and learn about their implementation experiences to see what technology they are using, what level of success they're having with it, and any suggestions or recommendations they have about it. Data in these implementation reports come from the implementation surveys about math tech that teachers are using with students and from leaders who helped select math technology for their school or district. The table of contents for these reports, shown in the dark blue strip in the center of this slide, provides the outline of the report. You will note that in addition to the tool, educator, and use case, there are 3 report sections under selection and 4 report sections under implementation. Our platform will match your district to other districts by matching data on the 10 variables in the first survey, that context inventory. Clicking on districts like mine in our Exchange platform is how you can review the math tools that other educators who work in a similar district context to yours are using. If they're experiencing success with a particular tool, then maybe you will too. You can look at their evidence to get a sense of what math tools might work in your district, or to learn how to improve your implementation of a math tool that you are currently using. Let's look at the satisfaction and advice section of the implementation report. The data shows how satisfied the teachers reported they are with the tool in their classroom, a 3 out of 5. Underneath, the teachers indicate how satisfied they think their school, a 4 out of 5, and the district are with the tool. These data suggest that educators feel that the school is more satisfied with the tool implementation than they are with their classroom implementation of the tool. Educators also report on how they think the students feel about the tool, which in this case is somewhat low with a 2 out of 5. The educators tell you why they gave the score they did in the open-ended response. Those responses are shown in the light blue sections towards the bottom, accompanied by the little speech bubble icon. In this example, you can read that one teacher uses the tool mostly for assessment, and that the students may not find the tool relevant and don't like it because it's used to evaluate them. If you know this tool has other non-assessment features that teachers can use, this report data can surface that teachers may not know about the full slate of features available in the tool. It would be important for the district to share that information with teachers and likely offer some professional learning opportunities so teachers can effectively integrate the tool into regular teaching and learning experiences. Remember, when matched to districts like yours, the implementation report aggregates together the experiences of all educators in one district who reported on the same tool. Let's take a deeper look at the use case section of the report. The display on the right shows how frequently educators reported using this tool for different activity types. We know that students experiencing poverty are more likely to use technology for rote, drill, and practice activities, but only 20% of the educators identified using the tool for this type of activity. 90% of educators reported using the tool for somewhat higher level activities that ask students to consider, interpret, apply, or create with the math technology. And in case you're doing the math here, educators can pick more than one activity, so it does add up to more than 100%. We do see that 30% of educators report using this tool specifically for students performing below grade level. It would be a good use of time and valuable to dig into how educators are using the tool with various student groups. The third type of platform evidence partners can access is an implementation report by tool. There is a way to search for a particular technology and see what all users in the Exchange platform who have reported on that tool have to say about it. The search by tool displays information from the implementation survey we just reviewed about a math technology. So if you were interested in selecting a new math tool for your middle schools, you could use this feature to look up tools like STMath or IXL and see what other leaders and teachers have to say about it and their recommendations. Two reminders. As soon as educators complete the survey, the platform automatically aggregates and displays the data. Also, the data is anonymous and confidential and reported in the aggregate. No names of districts, educators, or schools, and again, no student data. By searching by tool and accessing implementation reports by tool across the platform, you can better understand the math technologies educators are using and learn which technologies educators perceive to be most successful with students. These data from this implementation report illustrate that teachers feel somewhat neutral about the success of iReady. All educators who reported on iReady feel slightly more positive about iReady related to instruction compared to its impact on student outcomes. To summarize, our goal is to provide educators with evidence to help them make effective and equitable EdTech decisions. That evidence takes the form of 3 instant online dynamic reports: a district context report, implementation reports from districts like yours, and implementation reports by tool. So, do you want to surface EdTech evidence and insights like the ones I just shared for your state or your district? There is currently no cost to partnering with us to collect this data, and we make it easy for you. Free? Really? Yes, really. We are philanthropically funded. I know what you're thinking. How does it work? This slide shows 3 high-level steps. First, we work with you to get a list of teachers and leaders who make implementation and selection decisions about math tech. No, we don't sell the lists. This data collection is protected by UVA's Institutional Review Board. We use that list to email your educators to invite them to the survey. The second step then is for educators who participate to create an account and take our 2 surveys. That's where we pay them. Finally, the platform provides you with aggregated reports that you can use in decision-making about technology. So just think, if you say yes to collecting data with us now, in a few short months, this school year still, you will have actionable insights. You might learn that educators feel positive about the equitable use of technology for students and teachers. You might learn most educators are not regularly involved with decisions related to which technology is purchased. You might also learn that teachers have positive beliefs about the value of technology and their ability to integrate technology into instruction. Former partners have learned insights just like these. I'm going to pause again and open it up for questions, recognizing we are just 1 minute away from our 30 minutes. Amber, Naomi, any additional questions come through?
So we have one more question, and it is, can districts access implementation reports for multiple identifiable products in district like theirs?
Great question. And the answer is yes. When your district gets matched to another district, actually it's a short list of other districts like yours, you'll be able to see the implementation reports generated by the educators from that district. So you might be matched to 3 districts, and each of those 3 districts, District A might have 5 implementation reports that you can access, District B might have 7, and District C might have 3, and you would be able to access all of those. Any other questions?
That's all we have.
Well, perfect timing. I do hope what you have learned today inspires you to want to partner with us to collect data in your context. Working together, we can unlock insights and support better math outcomes for students. Please fill out our Google form, and either Amber or I will reach out to get the data collection ball rolling. A link to the form is coming in the chat. Thank you again for spending part of your day with us. We look forward to partnering and supporting your effective and equitable EdTech decisions.